Greetings everyone and welcome back to, well, you're not stuck in a time loop, I'm neither. This is just another smaller attack, of course, as always. Just want to show you what's out there in the ocean. The Admiral actually has rebuilt his ships rather quickly. It's not the same fleet that it was before, but he's still got more ships, of course, everywhere. But yeah, he's just trying it again, just for fun, really looking around. Now, we are also having some fun with the city building once more. Panagos, our grand metropolis, fluctuating a lot right now with the attractions. And yeah, we continue onwards because we have some new productions that will probably be coming in soon. So, first of all, my investors, my skyscrapers, we need more goods here, and that's the chewing gums and that's the biscuits. Both of them are already kind of like in the works right now. So the chewing gum is rather easy. We have done this in the last episode, right, with the sugar now, the sugar cane and the cinnamon production, leading then to the chewing gum production. And here we have now the biscuits. This needs the citrus that is coming in with the trade right now. It needs some tallow and it needs some flour. We should have really a lot of that in stock. I'd be surprised if not, but of course I like surprises. Let's just quickly check it out. And both of them, as we can see, are at 3,000 tons. How much do we need of that? The real problem here is not production, not even space really. The real problem is that we need a workforce for that. And one of these assembly lines costs me 500 workers. Yes, that's right. That's a lot. So before I build this, we need to get those workers in somewhere. And for that, we actually can do something that I would like to do. We build up a smaller factory town, or let's say worker town that we have somewhere along Panagos. Now, we still have that subway system, well, worker factory here that we have, and we can now optimize this a bit. All the subway metro stations that we have already are not enough, or are barely enough to scratch the surface here of what we can produce, right? So we actually have a rather equal production right now, and if we boost this productivity up a bit, we can even get a surplus production and have room for at least 2 more metro stations. I do not intend to build more than that many metro stations anymore in Panagos, so we don't need that huge factory town here for the subway after all. I can just happily move them down here a bit. What we are going to do a bit closer here to my harbor area, the same with the chimney that we have, just here really, the same with these smaller factories that we have, and also my power plant that we have to provide some electricity for these factories. Let's just move that in here. We still also have this one there. We have the warehouses just next to them, that's fine, they're going to work. We have this clay deposit here that actually can also stay, and we have that metro Central Institute building that we have, that I will probably, with the ornaments together, just move over here like this, because that is then just the entrance where we have it for that area, right? So we can also have then, I don't know, do these walls here really make sense? They don't, because I need that space. We don't need that much factory space anymore. Really important is really just the workers. Actually, you know what? Let's actually have the Metropolitan Institute right here in the city center in the Monument Row. It's a beautiful big building, and I definitely want to have something like that. A bit closer here, let's combine it with my bank then. It might actually, yeah, also have a tiny back entrance just over there. And I also just love the front entrance with the Gears of Time that we have there, the Gears of the Era, right? So another big building. It's just a beautiful big building, so why not just have it there? It also works with the modules now, the subway network that we have. Do we have others? No, it's still the same policy that we had, reducing consumption, especially if the penny file things quite a bit. How much is it actually? Because we have a couple of them now, right? We should see this. Ooh, it's still equal, strangely enough. Now, for the factory district, let's get rid of this road again. We don't really need it, nor do we need any of these walls here for the moment. I might then just actually make this one here full, and that's it, right? So there's no need really to bloat the factory town more. We still have a bit of space here for some multi-factories that we will need soon now, but that's about it. For the rest, we can just have a tiny smaller worker town now that I would like to have. In fact, we have these sheep farms here still. Now, for the sheepies, yeah, we do actually need still the wool. Problem is we don't have more slots in the dockland, so I still need to have some of them working. That's it, right? So we still need to keep them active. This is still ongoing, but it should be done now. And with that, let's just go ahead and have us this road connected. This is leading into a tiny town or square that we can have in this area. And this then continues now into that worker town. The worker town, of course, we can make full with ornaments that workers like. Let's have this one actually going all the way now over here for the moment. Right, we still need some kind of entrance though. Let's actually make this road there that goes down like this. It's a dangerous area though, to be sure, because we have constant attacks coming in to this region. So you get used to the noise at some point, I hope. What we'll definitely need is then a marketplace. And yeah, also here I'm probably going to call it quits then, to have this tiny area here used as a park or something like that. This makes sense. And the rest we can actually use then for a worker town. These guys here, it's just 3 of them. Can we do something? I hope like I can kind of like move it down there. We could reduce it to 2. That would still be fine. I think this would actually be workable if we get rid of the lumberjack hut that I really don't need in this area anymore. And then we just make sure that we have this one up here. Oh, this one actually needs to be there. This one though. And this one already has that. Perfect. So this is actually working. Right, we can actually have them down here and have even more space in that area. That lumberjack hut, if we need it at all, that's the question. Here we can have one with 70%. That's okay. How many logs do we have? We're getting logs in as well with the docklands, right? So we have still a discrepancy of 40. Should be fine. The admiral wants to pay 80,000 credits there. No, can do. Alright, that's beautiful. That's a lot of space really that we can work with. Now, I always wanted to use that old Nate's workshop, and I think now is the time for it, because we can just happily squeeze it in here. This is really all about workers, this district, right? It's all about them. It's going to be full with their ornaments. Old Nate's workshop here in the center of it, more or less, as well. I mean, I don't know what happens with those sheep farms eventually, but for now we can keep it there. And then lots of factories and chimneys and stuff like that. Also some water towers. This actually area we can have here for more production then. And here it's all going to be just workers. Perhaps a little town square here that would fit in, right? And around the marketplace though, let's get cracking with some workers. I mean, I could have the marketplace here. Let's build it. And have a special skin for it. That would work out too. Not the Christmas skin. More like an industrial looking skin. This one actually looks pretty neat that we have. And then also in its surrounding area, a pub. This is something we'll definitely need forever. So we can have a pub here by the park actually. It still radiates all the way to that side here once we have it also fully used with. Or let's have it on the other side. For the town square, let's also get us a church in, because of course this is something you absolutely will need. Right, in this area. And we also will need a school. For this, actually there's a special one that I would like to place. Now, let's just go with the normal one, because I really can't allow too many ornaments here, or too many monuments, I should say. And let's have this school then here, with perhaps a bit of a space here that we have like this. And then it goes up, and then like that. Right, so that the school at least has still some green area around it. And the rest we can really now plaster full with buildings, what I would like to have. And this is workers, so it's definitely getting a bit dense, right? I would like to use the worker skyscrapers for these blocks here. So we're definitely going to make use of that. This area we keep available. And then I just need to go all the way up now. And we're probably going to have another block like this. Perfect. And then also more blocks here. Yeah, I think actually we can make it like that. I'm curious how the worker buildings will look with this. And on that side here, the same applies. All the way then to that side. Now we just need to wait a bit for people to move in. And in this area where we have the school, I would like to have a playground. We have definitely then perhaps a little fountain somewhere. This is kind of like a central park to this district. It's nothing grand really. It's just there. Let's actually have the pub at the end here, so we can still squeeze in a... that's going to be tight. Yeah, we could have it like this though, as they're connecting then with the fountain. Surrounded of course with a nice fence. That goes all the way, and the rest is going to be filled up with some temperate groves. Just in the center of it, there is still then this area here. This is kind of like a town square that we have for the marketplace. So I probably want to have something more bigger. Oh, yeah, it's just another tiny force. So yeah, the people moving in here, they can already get used to the constant noise of destruction, bloodshed. Yeah, and really, this is just a bit of a park or a plaza right in front of the church that we have then. By now, I think we will be able to upgrade then most of them. How's it looking over here? That should be fine. I've also got the ship coming in with the turn-in, so this we should really do. This gives me a bit more reputation with Sean, and also the railway repair crane with a repair speed and radius upgrade for that. Actually, I think this is what we could use here then quite nicely. For that area, we do have a harbor master there, right? So, of course, I should use it. We have the repair cranes. Yeah, we can use this item right away. How very good. To boost my 2 repair cranes and also activate them. What's the range of them now? Yeah, definitely quite big. Quite large for what they can do. This brings me, by the way, back real quick here to Manola. So here we have the citrus plantations now and the cinnamon plantations. We have now the sugar cane that I think we still not really have completely positive. It's perfect. It's +4. How's it looking there with the rum production? Because we're at 68 with that, and for Panagos we're with a surplus of 11. So let's actually get rid of 1 rum distillery. This saves me a bit more sugar cane that we can use, and let's also finalize now that production, the chewing gums, right? So we have the sugar refinery. I think we only need 2 of them in total. They're getting electrified, so we actually only need 1, because this is already producing 4 tons of it then, and with that we only need 1 chewing gum plant, and look at that, we can actually squeeze them in nicely like this, and this is also producing now 4 chewing gums per minute. The total demand is 1 right now for my skyscraper population, so this is plentiful. This is way more than we need. This is adding a nice surplus, and Explorer here is now, he should be arriving soon. I'm getting both of these goods then over to Panagos for my skyscrapers. By now, all of these farmers here want to upgrade to the next level, and of course we're going to provide it. Let's make sure that we are not upgrading all of them though right away. Just most of them, right? Because this of course is taking also quite a hit on my farmers, and I just got them stable now. Let's just have them here. There's still a bunch of them. Perfect. And 143. Yeah, we can still go ahead and have this row then too, and this row still is then positive. And as you can see, we have then here our investors and engineers moving over then to my artisans and workers, moving then to workers and farmers only. Nice transition there. For these artisans, I would like to go ahead and also have them in these blocks here. It's just lovely to look at. Beautiful. This is how the artisans actually should look like if they're integrated in a town environment or in a city environment. And then we also have a bunch of these courtyards there that we can fill in. And what I also like about this one, look at that. We have a pave or a street in between, right? So just naturally it forms these tiny alleys in between the houses. Alright, my Yamatos are actually the target of this attack. Let's move them away a bit. They came out of the shipyard, so yeah, we might actually lose this one. Not entirely sure. Fire the torpedoes. We have the submarines right next to it, doing some nice massive splash damage. Beautiful to look at. And we're not losing it, but it was close. They really should not be too far outside. They rather should be like this. Coming into the artisan buildings right away. Perfect. Let's repair this one quickly. Do I not have a repair crane there? I think not. I think I will need to move those two so that we can still squeeze in a nice repair crane here and repair those ships there. There you go. Back to my worker district. I would like to... Can we do this right away? No, we need to wait for them now to get in the population before we can upgrade them actually. 44 farmers, so I'm not going to upgrade these yet. As we, of course, still need them. Just the occasional explosion. There wasn't even a ship close by this time. Now that we have the workforce, let's also go ahead and get us this biscuit assembly line over. This produces 4 biscuits per minute, which is quite a bit. And it also requires electricity, so unfortunately there is no boosting involved anymore. But of course with items we can always achieve that. In the industry zone I would like to have it. So it's finally also some cleaner factory building here. Right, between all the steelworks that we have. And this is now getting the flour, the tallow and the citrus then coming in from the New World to produce me some biscuits. Let's make sure that for my skyscrapers we are turning it off for now, because as always I want to just have a bit of storage there. Finally, there it is. We can also go ahead and upgrade them now, and of course we can do this for the whole bunch of them. Leads to a nice follow-up worker district now, leading then to the chimneys over there. This is tier 1. We can upgrade them to tier 2 then as well. What is going on with you? This tiny building does not want to adjust for some strange reasons. I would like to have it like this, but unfortunately... Ah, there you go. At least that's a bit more cleaner looking. Now, let's also quickly jump over to my artisans, because over here we have now one thing that those guys here need if I want to have more artisans and if I want to upgrade them to the next level. And that is tea. That is actually a new resource that only these guys here need. And tea, we have it already open here, the trade route for this, or the production. No, let's actually call it trade route, because it's an interesting one. It requires the tea docks. This one here just requires a harbor area, and it imports tea. I was already thinking, where would we get tea, right? The New World, Africa, nah, Asia does not exist. So in this case here, it is the tea docks where we import that. This one in return leads to the tea factory, which is then producing tea for my artisans. Now we have, this area here available with some fisheries. Those fisheries are now boosted, so we're producing 23 fish per minute right now. That's of course because right over here we have the small coal power plant. This one I would actually like to move now a bit, so let's move it over here. Alright, so this is polluting and it's producing the electricity that we had for the subway system. It's a very small radius that it has really, but it is enough to cover my industry area here, just for a bit of coal. And that means we can actually get rid of some of those fishermen now. And I would like to get rid of these 5 here actually. This should still lead us to a nice overproduction here. Perfect. So +2 we still have. And with that we have a bit of space available that I can use now for the tea docks that produce 1 per minute. Boosted 2 per minute. Let's go ahead and also have a look at what the tea consumption is right now. It's at 5, so it's actually pretty high. Of course we have, in total 15,000 artisans right now. However, not all of them need it, only those living in the skyscrapers need it. Or let's not call it skyscrapers really, let's call it city artisans or something like that, right? Because that's what it is. These are the village artisans and these are the city artisans, because skyscrapers really doesn't do it justice there. Now, let's also have the tea docks now. They're going to be electrified, that's great. And we don't need so many of them. The cool thing is also they barely require space, so we can just really go ahead and make us a nice row of these. Let's actually have it here so it does look a bit more organized. This should then be electrified, perfect. And 3 should actually already do the trick. And what I also like is, look at that, how they come together. Like, it really looks like it's just one dock now. And this is now a new trade port, more or less, that we're building up, that is now producing then tea for us. It does consume quite a few workers though, 300 in total. So we absolutely want to make sure that they're getting boosted, right? Because it's just a lot of workers for us right now. Importing it now with a rate of 2 per minute, that's 6 per minute, and now we need the tea factories. Once again, we only need 3 of that because we're boosting them. They require 150 artisans, and we can just also have them in this area. Let's have them by the docks because it's the same skin of buildings, right? So I definitely want to have them a bit closer together there, and that would be then over here. Let's just have a look at that. We have, yeah, unfortunately here the beach area that is hindering a few things, but it's still fine. And with that we have those 3 then here, and it really looks like it belongs together, right? And with that we have the tea production up and running, and this will make sure now that we do get it out. And as you can see, it's already coming in. There doesn't need to be a ship coming in and out. It's basically just working like that. And they're now producing the tea for me. There it is. At a whopping also 2 per minute, and with that we have the tea provided for my artisans. This leads now to a bonus of what exactly, because I haven't really looked it up. 7 artisans per building and 50 coins, which is a lot. Right. Also the workers, skyscrapers of course, also have tea, so we are also providing more workers with that and more coin. Coin I don't care about, workers I care about. So we are providing now, I think we can actually reach a few of them already. We are already providing electricity to those guys here. And now tea is also coming in. Now I wonder, we do have tools actually. We have the tools production up, right? We have at least one of them. We have. I think it was over here as well. There it is. And it's producing. Problem is it's not producing a lot. So let's just check it out there too. The demand is 4, we produce 2. So I need at least 2 more of these bad boys. You know what? Let's move them over. They just belong here. There's the workers. There's the electricity. This is the area where they just perfectly squeezed in or fit in. Let's remove the lumberjack hut. And with that, let's build me some 3 of these tool factories as well, right here beside my worker district. A bit of an expansion that we can still provide later on. They get their electricity, and with that we are producing now 6 tools per minute. So a tiny surplus with that. Let's get rid of the tool workshop here, no longer required. And with that, my artisans and my workers will have all the resources they need, so we can finally also upgrade them to tier 2. Mods are wonderful, especially when they really bring something new to the table, like these new buildings. Without them, I really can't fathom Panagos looking any other than a superior metropolis. And with that, we continue onwards with some artisan and worker tier 2 skyscrapers and some new production in the next episode. Stay tuned!